If you've purchased or are thinking about buying a Ranger fishing boat, you're making a choice to own a boat designed to make fishing easier for you and your family, as well as a boat that will take you to your favorite fishing spots and home again safely, and with the confidence of owning the finest fishing boat on the water. And while most of you will use it only for fishing, these are great recreational boats. From camping, skiing, tubing, and just exploring the water, a Ranger is truly a boat for both anglers and their families. The Ranger boats you will see in this video are the essence of fishing boat performance and have systems to ensure your enjoyment and safety while underway. But the one system that cannot be built in is the most important operational and safety system aboard. That system is you. You or anyone you allow to take the helm is in command. You are in control of that vessel and its operation. You are responsible for everyone aboard. With ownership comes the responsibility to control your vessel with maturity and ability, to keep your family and your friends safe while they're enjoying water activities. If you allow your boat to move through the water without being in control every moment, you and the people around you are in danger. As the owner-operator, it is your skill and seamanship that turns running a boat into a joy for everyone. And that's what this video is about. It's about those on board with you, and it's about other boats in the water around you. Responsible boat ownership begins before you ever get near the water. Take time to read both the boat and engine owner's manuals and share them with everyone who will operate the boat. They contain important information and tips about safety, operation, and maintenance of your new investment. Keep them with your boat as you head to the water. If you're like most families, heading to the water means trailering. It's a good idea to practice this skill in a deserted parking lot before you head for the boat ramp, if you haven't done it before. When you get to the water, remember to put the drain plug in. If you don't, the boat will take on water. Unhook the stern tie-down straps and transom support brace. Then, unhook the winch strap only after the boat is in the water. Before starting the engine, you need to make sure there are no gas fumes in the boat, whether you have just refueled or not. You need to actually sniff the air to make sure there are no fumes and make an inspection of the fuel lines. Safety continues right here at the dock. First and foremost, there is no place for alcohol on a boat. Look around to make sure your fire extinguisher is where it should be and that everyone else aboard knows where it is. Among other requirements, you need to have a Coast Guard approved life jacket aboard for each person going out on the boat, as well as a throwable device. There are different sizes of jackets for adults and youngsters, and you can ensure proper fit by buying a PFD to match the weight and chest measurement of each rider. The law in virtually every state is that kids must wear life jackets. And for the grown-ups, jackets must be easily accessible. And if you want to set a good example for your youngsters, do what professional anglers do. Wear your life jacket. PFDs save lives. We strongly encourage you to wear your PFD every time you are in your boat. And if you have teenagers who want to drive the boat, check your state laws for how old they must be and what training they must have completed prior to taking the wheel. Inevitably, families tote lots of equipment with them in search of the biggest bass or wiliest walleye. This equipment must be completely stowed before leaving the dock. Loose fishing rods, tackle boxes, or any unsecured equipment on the deck is a significant safety hazard. A boat operator and passengers have plenty to keep their attention focused during normal operation without having to navigate an equipment obstacle course. Make a last-minute check of the weather report before you go out. Squalls and storms are no fun to boaters and can be downright dangerous. A quick check of the steering system should also be done. Rotate the steering wheel left and right while observing the fasteners that secure the steering to the engine. Make a visual inspection of steering cables or hoses for cuts or abrasions. Cars have safety belts, but boats don't. These boats have an ignition interrupter switch with a lanyard to attach to the driver. The switch shuts off the engine if the driver moves away from the helm seat. Wearing this lanyard is vital for your safety, the safety of your passengers, and other boats near you. The operator is responsible for the safety of the passengers on board. Before you leave the dock, make sure you instruct your passengers to stay seated in the recommended on-plane seating locations while underway. Passengers should never be seated on casting platforms. Passengers and equipment should be located to ensure a balanced load. Experiment by moving coolers or other heavy loads around to ensure proper running angles. Only after you and your passengers are going to be safe can you turn the engine on and start out on the water. As you head out onto the river or lake, take a look around for waterway signs, especially the idle speed or no wake sign. It means you keep your boat settled in the water at the lowest speed possible to maintain steering. Make sure everyone is holding on and comfortable before you start to accelerate. Check the entire area to make sure you have a clear, safe path. A good practice for getting underway, especially when fully loaded, is with the unit trimmed all the way under or down. To properly put the boat on plane, push the throttle forward and accelerate smoothly. Even in areas with no posted speed limit, you are responsible for the wake your boat makes. After the boat is on plane, adjust the trim out slightly to obtain the proper bow attitude and engine RPM. If you under-trim, your bow will ride nose down in the water, making for harder steering, sometimes called bow steering, and a wet ride. Over-trimming will keep the bow high in the air and cause the propeller to lose its efficiency or cavitate. Experiment with the trim button to get the optimal trim angle for your load and the water conditions. Ranger has different styles of seating in its various models, and all provide a safe, comfortable ride. The safest position is seated with your center of gravity low in the recommended on-plane seating locations whenever the boat is underway. To enhance stability, passengers should always hold on to available handholds and grab rails located throughout the boat. Never operate the main outboard engine when someone is seated in the bow or stern casting chair or positioned on the front or rear decks. These boats reach cruising speed of 35 to 45 miles an hour very quickly, while top speed can be well over 50 miles an hour. As you know from driving a car, you always need to be in control. Keep your hands on the wheel and throttle, and always be ready to reduce speed and change direction if you encounter wakes, other boats, or obstacles. Never go faster than your comfort level and the conditions warrant. Your best accident avoidance technique is to slow down. When you are ready to come off plane, look behind you and to both sides of the boat before slowing down. Tell your passengers what you're doing so that they can be ready for the change. Slowly pull back on the throttle, allowing the boat to settle. Avoid making sharp turns while the boat is slowing. Check behind you to see if there's a large following wave approaching the transom. If there is, give the engine a little throttle as the wave arrives to avoid possible backwash over the transom. These boats have modified V-hulls. To execute a turn when on plane, slow down a little and trim the engine in a little bit. As the bow lowers slightly, it will give you better control during the turn. The load in the boat will determine the proper trim angle for your engine. If the speed is too high or the turn angle is too aggressive, the boat may keel steer, causing the bow to turn abruptly. If this occurs, immediately throttle back, straighten the wheel, and try the turn again. Practicing with different trim angles at lower speeds will help to teach you proper turning procedures. If conditions allow, always make wide sweeping turns. These are the best kinds of turns to make, and they are the most comfortable and certainly the safest. Rangers have live wells that need to be kept closed while underway, or the water and the fish or bait may slosh out of them. Read the directions for their operation in the owner's manual for the best way to keep fish and bait alive and to keep the wells working properly. Often, when you're stopped fishing, you're standing on the front deck of the boat. Keep an eye peeled for someone else's wake that could cause you to fall overboard. This video, along with your boat and engine owner's manuals, provide only basic safety information. Be a student of boating and learn as much as you can. Check with the U.S. Coast Guard Auxiliary, the U.S. Power Squadrons, the Red Cross, or your Ranger dealer for boating classes in your area. These courses are usually free and easy to understand. Educated boaters are safe boaters and can share the experience for years to come with their family and friends. Congratulations on your decision to purchase a Ranger boat. Ranger has an international reputation for building the best boats in the fishing world. For the better part of a half-century, our commitment to excellence has set the pace as well as the standards. It is that same dedication to excellence that continually delivers unmatched value, confident performance, and reassuring peace of mind.